Welcome back to Less is the New More, Episode 2, where scarcity shows up in our daily lives. I'm Donna Roy, here again with the brilliant and always insightful Kate Mesa.
Hi friends! Before we jump in, let's set the stage. In Episode 1, we introduced the idea of scarcity brain, a term popularized by Michael Easter, who explains that our brains evolved in environments where resources were limited. So the brain still defaults to grabbing more, doing more, and protecting ourselves even when we're not actually in danger.
Exactly. Scarcity is that underlying sense of not enough, I better act fast. Abundance, which is our aspiration, is the opposite. There's enough, I'm safe, I can choose. And today, we're looking at how these scarcities can show up in real life. Not in theory, but in those sneaky everyday moments when it quietly takes the wheel before ever going through driver's training. And how we can slowly work towards defining and identifying the abundance in our lives at the very time when we feel like it's not there.
Well said. Michael Easter says scarcity brain is what happens when our modern world collides with an ancient brain built for a time when almost everything was scarce. So basically, we're running modern lives with prehistoric human software.
Yes, and today we're taking it out of theory and into real life. We're talking about where scarcity brain showed up for us this past week and how we reacted to it.
Right, because awareness is the first nudge that pulls us towards abundance. And also, it's fun to call ourselves out, still part of abundance because it is fun. Okay, Donna, here it is. Where did scarcity brain show up for you this week?
Well, I have a good one. Last Thursday, I had a bit of a break in my work schedule. I work remotely from home, and I decided I was going to get part of my supper prepared to reduce the time it's going to take to make it later. I took my next call thinking the burner was off when I was through, but I left it on low and my food burned. Boy, did my scarcity brain get fed even though I wasn't going to be. I was telling myself not so positive things and lamenting, what am I going to do? I don't have supper ready. My heart sank. Life as I know it would never be the same because now I don't have what I need, which is food. My nervous system, though, didn't respond to the burnt food, though. It responded to a threat to readiness and safety. That's why it felt all fast and furious. Scarcity brain doesn't care that it was just dinner. It reacts as if something essential was taken away. That's scarcity brain in a world where we're taught to be on all the time.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It wasn't about the food. It was about safety. That impulse, if I don't do it now and do it right, I'll miss out, is exactly how scarcity brain communicates to us. It creates fake emergencies.
Oh, absolutely. Now, and all right, Kate, your turn. Where did the scarcity masked bandit get you this week?
So this week, scarcity brain showed up in a really big way for me. Over the weekend, I spiraled under the weight of everything on my plate. I have a lot going on right now, feeling just overwhelmed in the sense that I had too much to do and not nearly enough time. I convinced myself I wouldn't get it all done, and I felt frozen, unable to take the steps I needed to move forward. And my mind slipped into hypervigilance, is what we call in therapy. I was catastrophizing, imagining the worst outcomes as a way basically to protect myself, which only amplified my stress more. So eventually I grounded myself by making a list and tackling one task at a time. But for hours, I was completely maxed out and overwhelmed by the pressures I had.
I can relate to that, Kate, for certain. Scarcity brain takes us to places we really don't want to hang out and often keeps us hostage there, doesn't it? It promises to support efficiency, but instead it promotes burnout.
Yes, it cares about survival, even when it's completely unnecessary. For me, rushing has become this false security blanket. Like, if I move fast, I'm safe, but really, I'm just stressed.
Absolutely. And what I love about these stories is that scarcity doesn't just show up in big life crisis moments. It's in the tiny, everyday things that pop up in our lives.
Yes, it can sound like, I better say yes or the opportunity will disappear. Or I need to finish all the food on my plate. If I stop, I'll lose momentum. Just said that yesterday.
Well, speaking of needing to finish food on a plate, my personal favorite is, oh, there's only 2 cookies left. I'm not going to be right until they're safely in transit through my tummy.
The classic eat now to avoid thinking later strategy.
Nothing says it better than a cookie, right? But awareness can turn these moments into choices instead of reflexes, which helps us feel more in control.
Okay, so a little reflection on what we've just talked about. In a nutshell, scarcity thrives on speed. Abundance, aka enough, requires slowing the signal. Notice when urgency shows up. Ask, is this real? Or could this be my scarcity brain trying to protect me? So if you're listening and want to play along, here are some things to think about. Where did scarcity brain show up for you this week? Was it around food, time, money, conflicts at work? Did your body react? Worry, tension, urgency, grabbing something really quickly? Or was it a thought that slipped in and brought uneasiness? Is there another way to look at it or approach that's more favorable for you? Less worry. That's heading to abundance.
It's abundantly said, Kate. And the key is, don't judge it. Just notice it. Be curious. Because curiosity is the opposite of scarcity and gives us an opportunity to break the negative cycle that's going on within us. Because if scarcity is constantly being fed from the outside by our attention-grabbing society that we do live in, the question becomes, how do we build a sense of enough from the inside?
Well said. Okay, Donna. What abundance shift are you taking into next week?
Well, when I make a mistake, and I'm going to make them, I'm going to remind myself that abundance isn't about having endless options. It's about trusting that one mistake is not going to erase everything. I want to think in gray instead of the black and the white that tends to get us nervous, tends to get us anxious when we think that way. And remembering, of course, to do a few deep grounding breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. Because nothing says ill feeling better than shallow, fast breathing.
That's right. I love that. And black and white thinking can just make us feel stuck. So
Absolutely. And I didn't say this about my experience. When I thought about abundance, I immediately went to the Instacart thought, like, wow, we've got Instacart, instant delivery. I had the food delivered in 20 minutes. I basically replaced what I burned, made a new batch. All was well. Victory!
Yeah. Woohoo! That's the solution.
So Kate, how about you?
Yeah, so, just reflecting, I think instead of telling myself I don't have enough time and I can't get all this done, I'll shift to I have enough time to do what truly matters and I can take things one step at a time. So slowing down. I don't have to do it all at once. So this reframes my experience from urgency and pressure to trust and capacity. The abundance mindset reminds you that you're not racing against time. You are prioritizing your energy. It reinforces that you can meet your responsibilities, not by doing everything at once, but by moving steadily, intentionally, and with compassion for yourself.
Yes, and simply one subtle shift, one instant upgrade to enough.
Agreed.
All right. So, friends, I thank you, and Kate thanks you. We both thank you.
Yes, thank
you.
For
being here with us for episode 2 of Less is the New More.
Yes, thank you for listening, and we'll be back next time for more real human stories about the brain, the body, and navigating life in today's fast-paced world, exploring what it means to feel enough, shifting out of scarcity, and slowing down without feeling like we're falling behind.
Absolutely, and please feel free to subscribe to our social channels. We'd love to hear from you, hear your comments about the series, and how you think things are going.
Yes, we would love that. Okay.
All right. See
See you on the abundance side.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks. Bye.